Hi, and welcome to another story time brought to you by ABC Read and ABC Learn, in which we are here to help develop and nurture that love of reading in every child as well as every adult. How are you all doing out there? If it's daytime, night, real early in the morning, real late at night, whatever time of day it is, wherever you are around the globe, I hope that you all are doing fantastic, great, terrific, awesome, all of those great adjectives that are positive. I hope that that is how you are feeling and that is how you are doing, all right? And I hope that you all have read or you're planning to read for at least 30 minutes, y'all. That's what's up, y'all. Holla, holla, holla. Oh, my goodness. And before we get started with our read aloud, I want to share with you all, of course, another reading aloud benefit, which is when you are reading aloud, guess what? You don't have to read to other people all the time. When you're reading aloud, you can actually do it by yourself. Yes, that's right. I actually do that sometimes. So, I have a book that, that I'm reading right now that I'm like so excited that I got. It's called A Medical Apartheid by Harriet A. Washington. And it's a very serious book. But some of the things that I've been reading so far, has been like real crazy. Unfortunately, just briefly what it talks about is basically what has happened to people of African descent, Black people in this country, in terms of when it comes to medical research, how, our Black bodies have been used to do medical research in ways that has just been totally unethical and just horrible. I mean, just disgusting. Some of you may have heard of the Tuskegee syphilis experiment. That's a famous one, but there have been plenty other horrible things that have been done to Black people in the name of medical research. So that's what this book is about. And but the reason why I brought it up again, like I said, is because there are some pages that I have been reading out loud to myself because I was just like, blown away. So with that being said, you guys can do that as well with different books, whether it's a serious book or, a funny book, whatever kind of mood you're in. Try reading that book out loud to yourself. And I'm telling you, it will just, I think it'll add a lot of life, to that book. I think you'll enjoy it a lot better. And so, yeah, so I just wanted to say that. And also, I wanted to share with you guys, well, first, let me show you the cover of the book that I'm going to read to you guys. All right. Yeah. I'm pretty sure a lot of you are familiar with this book. This is a pretty popular book. Let's read the title together. A Chair for My Mother. And the author, her name is Vera B. Williams. All right. Awesome, right? You guys see that? And what do you all think this book is going to be about? Well, the title is pretty clear, right? A Chair for My Mother. All right. So someone is going to buy a chair for their mother. Would you say this little girl right there? And you see the beautiful pictures, right? Look like pictures could be of her family. Okay. All right. Awesome. And what inspired me to choose this book was because, well, today is my birthday. And my mother came over, my dad, my stepmom, my sister, my nephews, and it was just like really chill. And really, I'm not a person who's like really big on like birthday gatherings and all of that type of stuff. But it was like pretty awesome to have my family over. And the reason why I chose this book was because I really am appreciative of my mother, especially, she was the one who gave birth to me, so, and I said, wow, I said that was, like I said, really special when she came over, and my dad and stepmom, and it was pretty awesome. So that was the reason why I chose this book, y'all. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. All right, y'all. Y'all ready to hear the story? All right, let's go. Cool, awesome. This is the dedication page to the memory of my mother, Rebecca Porringer Baker. Awesome. My mother works as a waitress in the Blue Tile Diner. After school, sometimes I go to meet her there. Then her boss, Josephine, gives me a job too. I wash the salts and peppers and fill the ketchups. One time I peeled all the onions for the onion soup. When I finish, Josephine says, "Good work, honey," and pays me. And every time I put half of my money into the jar. It takes a long time to fill a jar this big. Every day when my mother comes home from work, I take down the jar. My mama empties all her change from tips out of her purse for me to count. Then we push all of the coins into the jar. Sometimes my mama is laughing when she comes home from work. Sometimes she's so tired she falls asleep while I count the money out into piles. Some days she has lots of tips. Some days she has only a little. Then she looks worried. But each evening, every single shiny coin goes into the jar. We sit in the kitchen to count the tips. Usually Grandma sits with us too. While we count, she likes to hum. Often she has money in her old leather wallet for us. Whenever she gets a good bargain on tomatoes or bananas or something she buys, she puts by the savings. And they go into the jar. When we can't get a single other coin into the jar, we are going to take out all the money and go and buy a chair. Yes, a chair. A wonderful, beautiful, fat, soft armchair. We will get one covered in velvet with roses all over it. We are going to get the best chair in the whole world. That is because our old chairs burned up. There was a big fire in our other house. All our chairs burned. So did our sofa, and so did everything else. That wasn't such a long time ago. My mother and I were coming home from buying new shoes. I had new sandals. She had new pumps. We were walking to our house from the bus. We were looking at everyone's tulips. She was saying she liked red tulips, and I was saying I liked yellow ones. Then we came to our block. Right outside our house stood two big fire engines. I could see lots of smoke. Tall orange flames came out of the roof. All the neighbors stood in a bunch across the street. Mama grabbed my hand and we ran. My Uncle Sandy saw us and ran to us. Mama yelled, "Where's Mother?" I yelled, "Where's Grandma?" My Aunt Ida waved and shouted, "She's here, she's here. She's okay, don't worry." Grandma was all right. Our cat was safe too, though it took a while to find her. But everything else in our whole house was spoiled. What was left of the house was turned to charcoal and ashes. We went to stay with my mother's sister, Aunt Ida, and Uncle Sandy. Then we were able to move into the apartment downstairs. We painted the walls yellow. The floors were all shiny, but the rooms were very empty. The first day we moved in, the neighbors brought pizza, cake, and ice cream. And they brought a lot of other things too. The family across the street brought a table and 3 kitchen chairs. The very old man next door gave us a bed from when his children were little. My other grandpa brought us his big, beautiful rug. My mother's other sister, Sally, had made us red and white curtains. Mama's boss, Josephine, brought pots and pans, silverware, and dishes. My cousin brought me her own stuffed bear. Everyone clapped when my grandma made a speech. "You are all the kindest people," she said. "And we thank you very, very much. It's lucky we're young and can start all over." That was last year, but we still have no sofa and no big chairs. When Mama comes home, her feet hurt. "There's no good place for me to take a load off my feet," she says. When Grandma wants to sit back and hum and cut up potatoes, she has to get as comfortable as she can on a hard kitchen chair. So that is how come Mama brought home the biggest jar she could find at the diner, and all the coins started to go into the jar. Now the jar is too heavy for me to lift down. Uncle Sandy gave me a quarter. He had to boost me up so I could put it in. After supper, Mama and Grandma and I stood in front of the jar. Well, I would never have believed it. "But I guess it's full," Mama said. My mother brought home little paper wrappers for the nickels and the dimes and the quarters. I counted them all out and wrapped them all up. On my mother's day off, we took all the coins to the bank. The bank exchanged them for $10 bills. Then we took the bus downtown to shop for our chair. We shopped through 4 furniture stores. We tried out big chairs and smaller ones, high chairs and low chairs, soft chairs and harder ones. Grandma said she felt like Goldilocks in the 3 Bears, trying out all the chairs. Finally, we found the chair we were all dreaming of, and the money in the jar was enough to pay for it. We called on Ida and Uncle Sandy. They came right down in their pickup truck to drive the chair home for us. They knew we couldn't wait for it to be delivered. I tried out our chair in the back of the truck. Mama wouldn't let me sit there while we drove, but they let me sit in it a while. They carried it up to the door. We set the chair right beside the window with the red and white curtains. Grandma, Mama, and I all sat in it while Aunt Ida took our picture. Now Grandma sits in it and talks with people going by in the daytime. Mama sits down and watches the news on TV when she comes home from her job. After supper, I sit with her, and she can reach right up and turn out the light if I fall asleep in her lap. The end. All right, you guys. Awesome, awesome. I really, really love that story. It is so, so touching and awesome. And I hope that you all loved it as well. And I hope that you all enjoyed it and learned a great lesson from that story. I know one of the takeaways that I really appreciate in that story is that how everyone was caring for the family. And how the family, obviously, how they cared and loved each other. And how they appreciated the mothers of the family, the mom of the little girl as well as the grandma. So I'm going to stop there because the video is going to stop. And I hope that you all like, subscribe, and share our videos. Happy reading.